used to think that once you start getting your life together, once you've done all the healing, got the discipline, gained the clarity, after you did all that stuff, I used to think life got smoother. Like, all right, I did the work, I'm good. Let's just autopilot this thing from here on out. Guys, that's not how it works. That is not how it works because what I'm starting to realize now is the higher you level up, the more you're challenged by lower energy. At first, it feels like you're kind of going backwards. You know what I mean? It's like you're eating better, you're focused, you're minding your own business, and then suddenly people start getting weird. Old habits start creeping in the back of your mind. Hey, Steve, it's Friday night. Remember how we used to stay up and drink vodka straight till 3 in the morning? No chaser because we built like that? What do you say we do it again tonight just for old time's sakes? The gas station down the street sells Tito's. And you gotta fight the urge. It's like, nah, man. I gotta work out in the morning, dude. Why does it feel like it's harder now that I'm doing better? Is what it feels like. Anyway, I was feeling like that for a while, and then I realized it's not that there's more chaos. It's that you're no longer matched to it, right? Let me see if I can make this make sense. When you're operating at a lower level, like, frequency wise, the nonsense just blends in. Okay, the drama feels familiar, the stress feels familiar, the dysfunction, all of that feels like home. Okay, but when you start to level up, that same energy stands out like a bad smell, and all of a sudden you're like, why why does it stink in here? You're just starting to notice that it stinks in here. It always stank in here, bro. It always stank in here. The smell of the room never changed. You changed, my boy. And so when you see it like that, it starts to make sense. It's like, oh man, this person that I thought was acting funny, they always act like that. I'm just noticing that they're acting funny because I was on that level with them. And then you started to realize the way that they have always been acting is not okay anymore, not for this new version of you. It's sort of like when your taste buds change. Food that you used to love suddenly start tasting nasty out of nowhere. And nothing changed with the food. Nothing's wrong with the food. You just grew up. Your taste buds just are not the same anymore. Let's take it back to school. Let's bring it to physics, right? When everyone around you is operating at the same level, the same habits, same complaints, same excuses, there's no friction. Okay, because y'all all agree on the same things. Everybody's comfortable because nobody's moving, right? But the moment you stand up, ooh, think about all your friends in a circle, right? Y'all all sitting around drinking, whatever, complaining about life. And one day you decide to stand up and be like, you know what? I'm gonna change something. I'm gonna change me. The moment you decide to take your life seriously, you almost like create this vacuum. Okay, stay with me. This is kind of a weird analogy, but you create like a vacuum, and that vacuum starts to kind of pull on the people that you're leaving behind. It's like, well, wait, why is he doing this? Why is he changing? Why is she changing? And then suddenly the people who used to be chill, now they're throwing little slick comments at you. They start kind of checking in on you, but it don't really feel like checking in. It feel like they doing surveillance. Like, you're not checking on me. You're just trying to see what I'm up to make sure I'm not leaving you behind. And it's not because they hate you, okay? It's just your growth is starting to make them realize how stagnant they've been, okay? That stagnation in their life starts to become louder because this new you, this new energy that you carry, it's almost like you're holding up a mirror to them. And it's not just people, man. When you start changing your life, life itself starts testing you. You start having so many stress tests. The week you decide to start eating clean, everybody want to go out to dinner. The week you decide to lock in, everything is an emergency, man. I remember, dude, this was when I lived in Houston. I was like, man, I'm gonna take my finances serious. I'm about to start saving my money. I'm gonna start with an emergency fund. Tell me why every purchase that week seemed like an emergency. I was like, man, how is everything an emergency? Life put you through that stress test. That low energy is heavy, man. It's sticky. It's yucky. Ugh. It wants to stay where it is. It wants you to stay where you are. So when you try to move up, it just pull you back. Get tempted with shortcuts. Oh, that's the worst. You start thinking you could take a shortcut. It'll derail your whole life for the next 3 years. It's like, man, this was supposed to speed me up, not slow me down. You gave in to the stress test. You failed it. You got to learn how to dwell in that pressure. And the crazy thing is, like, if you don't understand what's happening, you'll think you're doing something wrong, and you're not, man. You're not. That's just the pressure that comes with changing your life. I feel like I personally failed a lot of stress tests just because I felt like I was doing something wrong. And I wasn't. What's really going on is you're finally doing something right enough to be noticed. That's what's happening. And everybody's noticing, including life. Life is like, okay, you ready to go to the next level? Let's see if you're really ready. Come on, go ahead, pass this test. Oh, you passed that? Okay, now pass this one. And you just keep going through a series of, as soon as, man, shout out to my boy Fresh. Fresh said this in an interview one time. Fresh was like, as soon as you decide to change your life, everything fall apart. That's that pressure that life put on you to mold you into the person that you need to sustain the new level. You're not doing anything wrong. You just got to be smart enough and wise enough, I should say, to maneuver your way through these stress tests and not give in to the temptations. I used to think that the challenges was blocking my growth. Now I realize the challenges are the growth. Listen, hey, the higher you go, the more refined you have to become. You can't bring the old resentment with you. You can't bring old habits with you. You can't bring all that old need for validation with you into the next level, man. That's low energy activity, baby. The lower energies are just filters. They catch the part of you that's not ready to level up yet. Ooh, you got to recognize it. You got to recognize it and hurry up and mature it so you can get to the next level, man. This is how you play life. This is how you play the game, y'all. I cracked the code and I'm sharing it to y'all. So if you feel like people been testing you out of nowhere, man, situations just baiting you in, trying to trap you, life feels louder than usual, more chaotic, stay calm and just ask yourself, look, is this actually a problem or is this just the friction of my elevation? Oh my gosh. Woo! Is this actually a problem? Stop and ask yourself that. This person randomly just saying some crazy stuff. Is this actually a problem or is this just a friction from me elevating my life? And once you realize this friction, look, you're going to start smiling deep down inside. You're going to be like, all right, cool. I know I'm on the right track. Another thing that comes with changing your life, leveling up, operating on a higher frequency, you get in this kind of weird situation where you start thinking it's your job to explain yourself to everybody or fix everybody and bring everybody with you. That's where I wanted to bring everybody with me, man. I was trying to put everybody on the books I was reading. I was trying to put everybody on the videos, the online mentors I was following, and don't do that. You can't talk someone into a higher level of consciousness. I tried plenty of times. It don't work. Okay, all that does is pull you back down. All right, lower energy does not want solutions. It just wants reactions. I want you to understand that you are not responsible for the energy of the people that you leave behind. Okay, you are only responsible for staying aligned with the life that you are building. And that in itself is a full-time job. Because let me tell you something, the higher you go, the thinner the air get. You mess around and try to bring the wrong people up here, they start suffocating because their lungs wasn't built under the pressure like yours was. They can't handle it, baby. I guess this is the main point that I want to get across with this episode. We're all chasing this P word, peace, right? We're all going after peace. But peace is not the absence of conflict or chaos. Okay? Peace is when you've outgrown the chaos. But here's the thing though, just because you've outgrown the chaos does not mean the chaos is done trying to reach you. It's never going to be autopilot like I thought it was. I just am happy and I'm grateful that I'm wise enough to recognize whether this is an actual problem or is this just friction of me going to the next level. Whoo, man, I wanted to share that because when I realized that, I kind of felt this breakthrough. It's almost like I got a little cheat sheet here on out for the rest of my life. So I guess to put everything in a nutshell, I'm gonna say this. If it feels harder right now, that might not be resistance, that might just be confirmation. Okay? Confirmation that you're elevating. And I don't know about you, but that felt good when I realized that. Anyway, just some things I've been thinking through. Happy Monday to you. And as always, thanks for hearing me out.